All right. So my name is Smith Milner. I'm an architect working in the professional services space, and I'm going to do a really quick demo of how fast we can take a sales transcript from a sales call and generate a proposal with it using ScopeSnap. So here I am. I'm actually already logged in, so we're gonna head on into the auth section, and first thing we see is our dashboard. I already have a client in place, so my client is actually called Acme Client, and I'm gonna create my first project with it. So my project is a to-do app that they want to help with their internal processes. So I'm gonna call it to-do. It's got a to-do project key, and I'm going to associate it with a client. Not required, but I find it's helpful. So from there, we now have a client. And the first thing we see is the context page for our project. And this is where I would upload things about the project. Sales calls, transcripts, discovery documentation from the client, your discovery documentation if it's project specific, all that stuff goes in here. And so I call those context sources. So I'm going to add a source right now. We support text, URL, and file uploads. So I have a file prepared, and that would be our mock sales call. So I'm going to drag that over and hit add. So it takes a second or two to get the vectors and embed them into our database. Not very long. There, it's done. Now from here, we should head over to our scope tab, and we have no scope items yet. So we're going to generate an initial backlog. This button opens our chat window pre-prompted to generate an initial backlog. I'm going to hit the go button, and this can take a few minutes because it's going to review the whole context, send that to the AI, org, client, and project, and generate our initial scope, any statements. So what our assumptions have to be true for this to make sense, what's out of scope, and do we have any follow-up questions we need to answer before we can call our scope ready. So I'll check back with you in a few minutes. All right. So it just finished. It took about a minute and a half. And here we see our proposed changes. So it's created a set of, or it's proposing a set of epics, which I can apply or reject individually if I wish. Below the epics are scope items, so these are individual lines in our scope table here. And then below the scope items, which is the bulk of the work, we have statements. So statements are things like assumptions, what's out of scope, and questions. So I am happy with all of these changes, so I'm going to hit apply. All right. And now our backlog should be populated. There we go. Backlog is the wrong word. Our scope table should be populated. So here we have our items. If I open and view this, we can see that it's combining context. So in this case, our org process, so what's our tech stack, and the client's requirements, it's combining both of these to create an item saying let's do auth with this type of item from tech stack as an example. So this is some of the power you get. Um, Now I'm going to go over to statements. I see we have some assumptions and some out of scope items, and these all look as expected. So I am now going to go to readiness, and here we can do things like review for structural completeness. Do we have any missing fields? Is our risk exposure what we expect? Do we have any open questions about our scope? Now let's pretend we're happy with those. I'm going to head over to this Deliver tab, and this is where we generate a proposal and a statement of work. So I'm going to use our default proposal template, which can be customized at the organization level. But once we generate a proposal, we're not locked in. We can edit it. We have full control. The template's just your starting point. So when we generate the proposal, it's actually going to be using the details from our scope and context to power this. So here it is. We see some just drop-in token replacements for things like client name, company name, project name, the current date. And then we see other things like our executive summary are using our scope to help summarize what this project's all about. Now from here, you can export to PDF or docx and either send it straight to the client or add it to your workflow from there. And this finalize button locks it in. So this is what I would click after the customer is signed and I don't want to be messing with it anymore. So there we go. I went from having a sales transcript to a form of proposal in 7.5 minutes. And I hope that helps. Thank you very much.